real quick. So we all have a certain way of being or comporting ourselves in a romantic relationship. I certainly do. How we behave in relation to others can be labeled as an attachment style. It shapes how we love, how we communicate, and how we deal with conflict. But did you know that it can even be a predictor of infidelity?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Joining us to break it all down is friend of the show and psychotherapist Olivia Verhulst. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Okay, so you are our go-to gal for all of this business. For folks who don't know, what exactly is an attachment style, and is there just one? Are there many?
Okay, so attachment style. Attachment is really about the patterns that we've developed over time to get our core needs met of safety, connection, and closeness with people. So we all do this differently. Some of us might do it via reassurance seeking, for example, anxious attachment. Others might feel safest in the territory of avoiding emotional intimacy entirely, avoidant attachment. And all of this kind of surrounds earlier life experiences, shaping the core beliefs about ourselves and others.
Right. So you mentioned two of the styles, right? Secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant. Yeah. Can you explain how each one is? And let's start with the secure.
Yes, so attachment styles are grounded in secure attachment and then 3 insecure attachment styles. With an insecure attachment, that's where we have anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. And within these styles, secure attachment is highlighted by increased comfortability with seeking closeness and connection, speaking up for our needs. So that's why there is a lower statistic with infidelity, because you're more comfortable speaking up, and it's something where generally we feel safe asking for help from others and things like that.
I love how there's 1 secure attachment style and 3 insecure attachment styles. It feels like a seesaw into the wrong direction. But I want to go back to something you said, because we gain this attachment style. It's informed by our childhood, by how we sort of were
through these early interactions that are repeated by caregivers over time, we kind of get this consistent or inconsistent messaging that can then inform our attachment style.
Okay. I have a follow-up to that. And if you do realize the attachment style that you have and you go through therapy, speaking from a personal experience.
Listen, she's like the New York Living therapist. We're all friends here.
Are you able to switch attachment styles later on in life?
So importantly, there's a few things here. On the topic of infidelity, correlation does not equal causation with attachment styles. Let's put that out there. And with with attachment styles in general, I should say, they are totally flexible. We can actually have attachment elements across different relationships. I look at this as a valuable framework for self-knowledge that absolutely can be changeable over time. So try not to let that pigeonhole you if you tend to fall into one of those more insecure attachment
That's a great question, because I think if you are living your life, hopefully you evolve. I was certainly insecure in my early 20s, 30s, and even when I got married, my attachment style was, I think I was anxious, which is, talk to us about that.
So with anxious attachment style, this is typically characterized by maybe some inconsistent messaging given early on in life that leaves us pursuing clarity, which in adulthood can be like clinginess. I hate that word. But anxious attachment style leaves folks kind of pursuing more closeness. And with anxious attachment style, that's also with infidelity, where maybe you're someone who is getting those emotional needs and reassurance needs met outside the relationship, if there's correlation there for that person.
How about avoidant?
With avoidant attachment style, these people are really grounded and highly value their independence. Grounded in, I should say, and really value their independence. And there's also a fear of emotional intimacy here. So there's kind of that dynamic where you might do emotional distancing strategies because that's where you feel safest. Maybe you've learned early on in life, like you're looking around getting messaging like, oh, I really can't depend on others, so best to do it all on my own. And that's where there is a higher risk of infidelity, or a higher correlation, I should say. Yeah, because maybe it's a self-sabotaging behavior or kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy of, see, I don't need anyone, kind of thing.
Oh man. Okay, last, fearful or avoidant attachment.
Yes, this is also referred to as disorganized attachment. And this is where early on in life, a caregiver or a primary person in your life is both a source of fear and love and connection. So talk about, that can be really psychologically confusing for people and lead to later a push-pull dynamic in relationships where you crave that love, but also you fear it. And so it's characterized by instability and emotional regulation issues.
Do these attachments end up hurting your relationship or doom your relationship in the long term?
I don't like the word dooming only because they aren't permanent. You can work toward a secure attachment style. And I also want to note, people are capable of working through infidelity in relationships, depending on the couple and all the nuanced variables as well.
Very
Olivia
insightful.
Verhulst, I know. You have done it again. You've taken a very complex topic and set us straight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Love the shoes, by the way. Do yourself a favor. Follow her, Olivia Verhulst. All the things.